Welcome back, friends! In this lesson, you'll be learning about negative space and how it can help you improve your accuracy when drawing. Let's start by defining negative and positive space. Positive space is the space that your subject takes. It's what you want to draw. And negative space is all the space that is around your subject. Everything that doesn't include what you want to draw. Measuring the angles in the negative space and taking it into consideration when you're drawing is an incredibly powerful tool to help you improve your accuracy. It's a great way to recheck all the angles you measured to get to this point in your sketch. Let's see an example of how to use this tool. Let's pick up the drawing of this little bird where we left it in the previous video. So to recap, to get to this point, you started by breaking down your subject into basic shapes, like a circle for his head, an oval for his chest. You also measured the angles you saw in your reference, and you reached a point where you wanted to double-check that your drawing is faithful to your reference. To do this, you can check the negative space of your reference and compare it to your drawing. A good way to start understanding this is to go to your reference image and break the negative space into smaller, more digestible pieces. This is an easy way to train your eyes into seeing what the negative space looks like. Once you're done with this, you can now use these pieces to compare them with your sketch. To start, you can move the pieces you drew on top of your drawing. You can see here that when I compare the negative space, there are some things that are just not aligning. For instance, the beak is a bit too big, so you can go ahead and fix that. By the time you're done comparing the negative space, your drawing will be a little bit truer to the reference. You can draw the negative space on the reference and move it on top of your drawing to compare it, to start using this tool. However, your goal would be to train your eye to see the negative space without having to place it on top of your drawing. You can do this by comparing the angles that you see. And as we've talked about, try not to feel frustrated by all the changes that you'll have to make. Learning these concepts will take you time and practice. Let's see another example. To draw this rooster, you can start by thinking, how would I draw this using only basic shapes? Then you can use your new angle measuring skills and keep on building your sketch. And once the pieces of your drawing are all roughly there, you can start to look at the negative space and see how your drawing matches your reference. Notice that this sketch is still very rough. We're still in the process of arranging the pieces of the puzzle. Now, it's time to spend some time looking back and forward from the reference to the drawing and compare the negative space. When you do this, you can see here that the space from the edge of the reference to the chest is bigger in the drawing than it is in the reference. Also, the leg is a little bit too low in the drawing. So you can go ahead and fix that. Let's see the negative space around the tail. And once again, forget about the feathers, the colors, the textures, everything, and just look at the contour of the rooster and the negative space it creates. This will make it easier for you to spot the difference between your reference and your drawing. You can see that I was a bit off, so I'll go ahead and fix that. Continue to ignore the details, the shadows, and the textures. At this point, you're still working on the foundation of your drawing. Once you're happy with this foundation, you can start to add more details. And now, it's your turn. Head over to the worksheets in this video. Your assignment is to draw on top of the reference images the negative space you see. I recommend you start by breaking it down into smaller pieces. And then, draw the negative space all by yourself in the blank space on the right. This will help you train your eye to see the negative space as a set of shapes. which will make it easier for you to draw it in the future. Once you finish this, you can revisit your class drawing and check if the negative space in your drawing matches your reference. Remember to take your time and have fun. And make sure to share your class drawing and what you do for this assignment in the Design Cuts Community Hub or in social media. Once you're done with this assignment, we'll see each other in the next video. See you there!